Welcome back to Beacon of Ancient Insights, your source for timeless wisdom to strengthen resilience, cultivate inner strength, and fortify mental toughness. Today, we're diving into 10 transformative Stoic lessons that will empower you to face life's challenges head-on with calm and clarity. In the Stoic view, setbacks, failures, and unexpected obstacles are not just tests of endurance, they're opportunities for growth, defining our character by how we respond. In this episode, we'll uncover 10 Stoic principles that go beyond merely surviving adversity to truly thriving through it. From shifting your perspective to embracing detachment, each lesson offers actionable insights to build unwavering mental resilience in the face of life's unpredictability. If you find these teachings valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with those who could benefit from a boost in resilience. Your support helps us bring these ancient insights to modern seekers of personal growth. Let's get started with our first principle, mastering your perspective. 1. Mastering your perspective. When it comes to building mental toughness, mastering your perspective is a foundational step. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, stress the importance of controlling how we interpret and react to events. This mastery isn't about ignoring reality, but about understanding that while we may not control external circumstances, our perception of them is within our power. As Marcus Aurelius writes in Meditations, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This profound insight underscores that our mental resilience and emotional stability are not dictated by external events, but by how we choose to perceive and interpret them. It's a shift from being reactive to becoming proactive in handling life's challenges. At the core of mastering perspective is self-awareness. The initial step is recognizing when negative or unhelpful thought patterns begin to take hold, as these often cloud judgment and intensify emotional responses. For instance, a challenging work situation may feel like a failure or a personal attack, when in reality, it could be a valuable opportunity for growth. Self-awareness allows us to identify these misinterpretations before they spiral into negativity. Once aware, the next step is cognitive reframing, actively choosing to view situations through a balanced and rational lens. Instead of thinking, "I'm terrible at this, I'll never succeed," you could reframe it as, "I didn't succeed this time, but I've learned lessons that will help me improve." By reframing your thoughts, you train your mind to focus on resilience and growth rather than defeat. Mindfulness further reinforces this shift in perspective. Practicing mindfulness allows you to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. It's about being present, acknowledging emotions without letting them control you. When you're mindful, you realize that emotions like anger or frustration are temporary, giving you the mental clarity to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. A practical way to start mastering your perspective is by incorporating daily mindfulness exercises. This small, consistent practice can transform how you interact with your thoughts, building the foundation for a resilient mindset in the face of adversity. Take just a few minutes each day to sit quietly, focus on your breath, and observe the thoughts and emotions that arise. With regular practice, you'll find it easier to recognize when your mind starts slipping into negative patterns and build the mental strength to shift your perspective towards something more constructive. Additionally, surrounding yourself with positive influences, whether supportive friends, mentors, or the wisdom of great thinkers, reinforces a constructive outlook. The company you keep significantly shapes your perspective, so seek out those who encourage growth and resilience. Their presence serves as a constant reminder to maintain a balanced and empowering mindset. In essence, mastering your perspective is about taking control of how you interpret the world. Through self-awareness, cognitive reframing, mindfulness, and positive influences, you can develop the resilience needed to face life's challenges with clarity and strength. As Marcus Aurelius observed, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. 2. Accept what you cannot change. One of Stoicism's foundational teachings is the understanding that much of life lies beyond our control, and true mental resilience comes from accepting this fact. Acceptance isn't about resignation or passivity, it's about acknowledging the limits of our influence and channeling our energy into what we can control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes. Epictetus, a central figure in Stoic philosophy, captured this truth simply: some things are up to us and some things are not. This insight is essential for maintaining mental toughness. By accepting what we cannot change, we free ourselves from the frustration, anxiety, and helplessness that often accompany uncontrollable situations. Daily life frequently confronts us with circumstances beyond our control: other people's actions, natural events, or the passage of time. These are often our greatest sources of stress. Take, for instance, being stuck in traffic. While you can't control the traffic, you can control your response. Rather than growing frustrated, you could use that time productively, perhaps by listening to an audiobook or practicing mindfulness. By shifting your focus from what lies beyond your control to what lies within it, you regain a sense of peace and power. The Stoics viewed accepting what we cannot change not as weakness, but as a display of wisdom and strength. Seneca famously wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags along the unwilling." This powerful reminder teaches us that resisting reality only creates suffering, while accepting it allows us to move with the natural flow of life. Accepting that certain things are simply outside our influence conserves our mental and emotional energy, allowing us to focus on what truly matters: self-improvement and purposeful action where we can make a difference. One practical way to cultivate acceptance is through radical acceptance, a concept also used in modern psychology. Radical acceptance involves fully acknowledging the reality of a situation without judgment. Instead of wishing things were different or fighting against the truth, you accept it as it is. For example, if you face a setback in your career, rather than ruminating on its unfairness or blaming yourself excessively, practice radical acceptance by recognizing what has happened and then focusing on your next steps. This approach reduces emotional resistance, enabling you to move forward with clarity and purpose. Another powerful practice for cultivating acceptance is reflecting on life's transience. The Stoics often meditated on impermanence as a way to build resilience and lessen the fear of loss. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." This perspective reminds us that life is fleeting and that many of our worries are temporary. By accepting change, loss, and uncertainty as natural parts of existence, we can release the need to control every outcome and focus on living fully in the present. An essential part of acceptance is also practicing self-compassion. When dealing with difficult situations, it's easy to criticize ourselves for not being able to change things or for feeling frustrated. However, accepting what you cannot change also involves embracing your emotional responses. It's normal to feel disappointed, sad, or frustrated when things don't go as planned. Recognizing and honoring these feelings is part of the process. Instead of berating yourself, offer the same kindness and understanding that you would give a friend in a similar situation. To integrate this lesson into your life, start by identifying areas where you often feel frustrated or powerless. Ask yourself, is this within my control or beyond my influence? If it's beyond your control, practice letting go of the desire to manage it, and instead focus on what you can influence: your mindset, your actions, or your emotional response. In conclusion, accepting what you cannot change is about embracing life's unpredictability and focusing on what you can control: your thoughts, actions, and responses. By practicing radical acceptance and reflecting on life's impermanence, you develop mental resilience, freeing yourself from the stress of resisting reality. As the Stoics teach us, true strength doesn't come from controlling the world, but from controlling ourselves in the face of life's uncertainties. 3. Embrace the now. One of the most transformative Stoic lessons for building mental resilience is the practice of fully embracing the present moment. In a world that often pulls us toward future anxieties or past regrets, grounding ourselves in the presence of the present. By focusing on the here and now, you harness mental clarity and conserve energy, freeing yourself from the stress of dwelling on things outside your control. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius advised, confine yourself to the present. This simple yet profound guidance captures the heart of mental toughness, acknowledging that the present is all we truly possess. By embracing the now, we avoid letting the past haunt us or the future paralyze us, instead directing our focus to the only time in which we can act, respond, and improve. Is embracing the present so vital for mental resilience? Much of our anxiety and fear stems from concerns about the future, what might happen, what could go wrong, and outcomes beyond our control. Likewise, feelings of guilt, regret, and sadness often tie us to the past, replaying things that cannot be changed. The Stoics understood that neither the past nor the future is within our power. The only domain we can influence is the present and how we choose to engage with it. Embracing the present cultivates mindfulness, allowing us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being overtaken by them. Mindfulness is foundational for mental toughness because it empowers us to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It gives us the space to pause, evaluate the situation, and select a course of action aligned with our principles. Imagine facing a stressful situation. By focusing on the present, you maintain clarity, sidestepping the worry of future outcomes or the weight of past experiences, allowing you to act with wisdom and intention in the moment. Perhaps you're dealing with a conflict at work or managing a heavy workload. Your first instinct might be to worry about the future or regret past decisions that led to this point. But by embracing the now, you can shift your attention to what you can do in this moment to improve the situation. It might mean taking a deep breath to center yourself, reaching out to a colleague for support, or breaking the task into smaller, manageable steps. Grounding yourself in the present moment enables you to move forward with clarity and confidence. The Stoic practice of meditating on the present is another powerful way to embrace the now. This involves regularly reminding yourself that this moment is all that truly matters. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the fleeting nature of time, writing, "Don't let your reflection on the whole sweep of life crush you. Don't fill your mind with all the bad things that might still happen. Stay focused on the present situation and ask yourself, honorable and can't be survived." This Stoic practice of simplifying thoughts to focus solely on the present reduces overwhelm and sharpens your ability to face challenges as they arise. One of the great benefits of embracing the present is that it fosters a sense of contentment and gratitude. When you're not constantly chasing future goals or dwelling on past mistakes, you can appreciate what is right in front of you. Practicing gratitude for the present moment, however small the blessings may be, builds emotional resilience. The Stoics encourage this practice because it shifts your focus from lack to abundance. Even in tough times, there is always something to be grateful for, whether it's the lessons learned, the support of loved ones, or the opportunity to grow stronger through adversity. Consider a practical example. Imagine you're going through a difficult time in your personal life. It's easy to get lost in negative thoughts about the past or anxious fears about the future. But by embracing the now, you bring your focus back to today. What small action can you take to improve your well-being? It could be something as simple as taking a walk, practicing mindfulness, or reaching out to a friend. These actions, rooted in the present, not only improve your emotional state, but also help you regain a sense of control. Another effective practice for embracing the now is breath work. Focusing on your breath is one of the simplest yet most profound ways to anchor yourself in the present moment. When you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or distracted, taking a few mindful breaths can bring your attention back to the here and now. Calms your nervous system, allowing you to approach situations with a clearer mind. The Stoics recognize the power of breath in controlling the mind and emotions, often using breathing techniques to remain calm and centered amid adversity. Embracing the present also means letting go of the need for certainty about the future. The Stoics taught that life is unpredictable and striving to control every outcome is futile. Instead of fixating on what might happen, focus on what you can do now to influence future outcomes positively. By staying present and taking purposeful action, you set yourself up for success while detaching from the anxiety often tied to uncertainty. In conclusion, embracing the now is a foundational Stoic practice that strengthens mental resilience by grounding you in the present. By letting go of future worries and past regrets, you free yourself to fully engage with the opportunities and challenges directly in front of you. Through mindfulness, breathwork, and gratitude, you can cultivate the resilience needed to face life's uncertainties. As the Stoics remind us, the present moment is all we truly have, and within this moment lies our greatest power. 4. Cultivate humility and empathy. Humility and empathy are two essential virtues for maintaining mental toughness. While they may not be the most obvious traits associated with resilience, they provide a foundation for approaching life's challenges with wisdom and grace. The Stoics recognize that humility grounds us while empathy connects us with others, allowing us to face adversity with a balanced mind and compassionate heart. Starting with humility, one of the misconceptions about mental toughness is that it requires unwavering pride or self-reliance. In truth, humility keeps us grounded, preventing arrogance or overconfidence from clouding our judgment. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, stress the importance of remembering our place in the grand scheme of existence. He wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." So a reminder encourages us to see ourselves as part of something larger and to keep a humble perspective, which in turn helps us maintain clarity. Humility is crucial for mental resilience because it keeps us open to learning and growth. A humble person understands that they don't have all the answers and will inevitably make mistakes. This openness allows us to adapt, learn from our failures, and respond to change without being held back by pride. It's this adaptability, this willingness to learn, that truly builds resilience. Rather than being rigid or defensive, humility enables us to embrace challenges as growth opportunities, recognizing that there is always room to improve. In practice, cultivating humility means acknowledging our limitations and asking for help when needed. Too often we equate toughness with handling everything on our own. Yet the Stoics remind us that true strength comes from recognizing when we need support. Seeking help from a mentor, friend, or colleague isn't a weakness but a sign of wisdom. It shows that we're committed to growth and value others' perspectives. Now, turning to empathy, while humility keeps us grounded, empathy enables us to connect with others meaningfully. The Stoics viewed empathy as a pathway to understanding and relating to the human condition. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself the following question: what fault of mine most nearly resembles the one I am about to criticize?" This reflection urges us to recognize that we, too, have flaws, and by practicing empathy, we can better navigate challenges in relationships. Empathy plays a critical role in mental resilience because it helps us approach difficult situations with compassion instead of anger or frustration. When faced with adversity, it's natural to feel defensive or to lash out, but empathy shifts our perspective, allowing us to see the situation through others' eyes. This shift not only helps to escalate conflicts, but also strengthens relationships, creating a support system that bolsters our resilience. To develop empathy, try actively listening in conversations, especially during conflicts or misunderstandings. Often when stressed or upset, we listen to respond instead of truly understanding the other person's perspective. Taking the time to listen without judgment fosters empathy and helps us approach challenges with a balanced, compassionate mindset, reinforcing the Stoic ideal of resilience through connection. By consciously making an effort to truly listen and understand another's point of view, we cultivate greater emotional awareness and gain valuable insight into their experiences. This practice not only enhances communication but fosters a deeper sense of connection and trust, both of which are essential for building mental resilience. Empathy also nurtures patience. In challenging situations, whether in professional settings or personal relationships, it's easy to become impatient or frustrated. Yet empathy helps us pause and remember that everyone is facing their own struggles. By offering others the benefit of the doubt and showing compassion, we reduce emotional volatility and approach problems with a calmer, more balanced mindset. This patience is crucial for mental toughness as it prevents impulsive reactions and allows us to respond thoughtfully. In the larger context of life, empathy supports us in navigating hardships by connecting us to the shared human experience. We all encounter difficulties, loss, and pain at different stages in our lives. Recognizing this common bond fosters a sense of solidarity, strengthening our resolve. The Stoics believe that we are all part of a greater whole, a perspective that infuses our lives with meaning and purpose, even in times of suffering. Seneca eloquently captured this sense of unity, writing, "We are waves of the same sea, leaves of the same tree, flowers of the same garden." This reflection reminds us that we are never truly alone in our struggles, and that by supporting one another, we can endure even life's most challenging moments. Ultimately, both humility and empathy teach us the value of forgiveness toward ourselves and others. Mental toughness is not about holding on to grudges or cultivating unforgiveness. Instead, it involves letting go of resentment and moving forward with clarity and purpose. Humility reminds us of our own imperfections and inevitable mistakes, while empathy allows us to understand the motivations behind others' actions. Together, these virtues encourage forgiveness, liberating us from emotional burdens and helping us maintain inner peace. In conclusion, cultivating humility and empathy is essential for nurturing mental toughness. Humility grounds us, keeps us open to learning, and reminds us of our limitations, while empathy connects us with others, fostering compassion and patience. By practicing these virtues, we strengthen our emotional resilience and enhance our ability to navigate life's challenges with wisdom and grace. As the Stoics teach us, mental toughness is not a product of isolation or pride, but stems from recognizing our shared humanity and approaching life with humility and compassion. 5. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful practice at the heart of developing mental toughness. While it may seem counterintuitive to view gratitude as a component of resilience, the Stoics understood that cultivating gratitude fortifies the mind by redirecting our focus from what is lacking to is already present and valuable. Through gratitude, we build emotional resilience and nurture a mindset capable of finding strength even in adversity. Epictetus emphasized the importance of gratitude, especially in difficult times. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This reflection reminds us that gratitude doesn't require us to ignore our challenges. Rather, it involves appreciating the good that persists within our lives despite them. Practicing gratitude shifts our perspective, enabling us to see and value the positive aspects of our circumstances, however small they may be. This shift in perspective reinforces mental toughness, allowing us to confront challenges with a more resilient mindset. So gratitude plays a pivotal role in mental reframing, a practice central to Stoicism. In moments of hardship, it's all too easy to fixate on what's going wrong or what's missing. However, by practicing gratitude, you train your mind to focus on the blessings and opportunities already within reach. This shift in focus not only uplifts your mood, but also enables a clearer, more solution-oriented approach to problems. For instance, after experiencing a setback at work, practicing gratitude for the skills gained, lessons learned, or support from colleagues can help you maintain perspective and emotional balance. A practical way to cultivate gratitude is by keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. These can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the chance to learn something new. This daily practice rewires your mind to focus on the positive, even in challenging times, building a habit of valuing the present moment. Over time, you'll find your mind naturally seeking the good in every situation, making you more resilient in the face of adversity. Another key aspect of gratitude is acknowledging life's impermanence, a theme the Stoics often reflected on. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not indulge in dreams of having what you have not, but reckon up the chief of the blessings you do possess, and then thankfully remember how you would crave for them if they were not yours." This reflection encourages us to appreciate the present and the gifts we already hold. Recognizing that nothing is guaranteed, that all things are fleeting, deepens our gratitude for the experiences, relationships, and opportunities we currently enjoy. This sense of gratitude builds mental strength by reminding us to live fully in the present and to never take anything for granted. Gratitude also plays a crucial role in fostering emotional resilience. When faced with hardship, it's natural to feel weighed down by negative emotions. Yet gratitude acts as an emotional anchor, helping us stay grounded. By focusing on what we're grateful for, we create a buffer against the emotional toll of adversity. This practice doesn't eliminate pain or struggle, but it provides perspective, allowing us to see that even in the darkest moments, there is something to hold on to. This is why gratitude is often associated with increased well-being and reduced levels of depression and anxiety. Consider a personal challenge. Perhaps you're experiencing difficulties in a relationship or facing health issues. While it's essential to process the emotions tied to these experiences, practicing gratitude can help you find emotional balance. As you might feel gratitude for the support of friends, the lessons you're learning about yourself, or the resilience you're building through the process. This perspective doesn't deny the difficulty of the situation, but helps you navigate it with clarity and a sense of inner strength. The Stoics even encouraged gratitude for adversity itself, a more advanced practice that cultivates exceptional mental toughness. They believe that challenges and obstacles are opportunities for growth and therefore deserve gratitude. As Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials." By reframing adversity as an essential part of personal development, you foster a mindset that views obstacles not as threats but as opportunities for improvement. This mental reframing empowers you to face challenges with resilience and optimism. The practical way to integrate this concept is by reframing difficulties in your gratitude journal. When faced with a challenging situation, take a moment to reflect on what you can appreciate about that experience. Perhaps it's the lesson you're learning, the resilience you're building, or the opportunity to strengthen yourself. By identifying something to be grateful for in each challenge, you train your mind to view adversity more constructively, gradually fortifying your mental resilience. Gratitude also builds resilience by nurturing a sense of abundance. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, you cultivate a mindset of sufficiency that diminishes fear and scarcity. This mindset is vital for mental toughness, as it helps you avoid the trap of constant dissatisfaction. By valuing what you already possess, you feel more secure, content, and capable of facing life's challenges with a steady heart. In conclusion, practicing gratitude is foundational to mental toughness. Shifting your focus from what is missing to what is present builds emotional resilience, reframes adversity as a growth opportunity, and cultivates a mindset of abundance. Through daily journaling or reflecting on life's impermanence, gratitude enables you to navigate challenges with clarity and inner strength. As the Stoics teach, finding something to be grateful for, even in difficult times, opens the door to inner peace and mental fortitude. 6. Transform challenges into opportunities. One of the most powerful teachings in Stoic philosophy is the practice of transforming challenges into opportunities. Mental toughness isn't about avoiding difficulty, but embracing it as a catalyst for growth. The Stoics held that every obstacle we encounter offers a chance to develop character, strengthen resolve, and refine our skills. By shifting our mindset around adversity, we can turn what may appear as setbacks into stepping stones toward success. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." So this principle lies at the heart of mental toughness. The very thing that seems to block your path can, in fact, become the path itself. Rather than viewing challenges as insurmountable obstacles, the Stoic approach teaches us to see them as opportunities for learning and self-improvement. This shift in perspective transforms how we approach adversity, increasing our resilience and adaptability. The key to transforming challenges into opportunities is reframing your mindset. When confronted with difficulty, it's natural to feel frustrated or even defeated. However, mental toughness develops when you train your mind to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Or "How can I grow from this experience?" These questions redirect your focus from the problem to the solution or lesson within the challenge. By adopting this mindset, you move from being a passive recipient of circumstance to an active participant in your growth. Consider a practical example. Imagine being passed over for a promotion at work after putting in significant effort. It would be easy to feel disheartened or resentful. The Stoic approach, however, would view this as an opportunity to evaluate your performance, seek feedback, and enhance your skills. Perhaps there is a gap in your knowledge or an area for improvement. Instead of seeing the situation as a rejection, treat it as a chance to become even better equipped for future success. And instead of viewing rejection as failure, you begin to see it as constructive feedback that will help you perform better in the future. This perspective transforms setbacks into stepping stones toward future success. Another way to cultivate this mindset is by practicing voluntary discomfort, a Stoic exercise that involves deliberately putting oneself in uncomfortable situations to build resilience for inevitable challenges. Seneca advised, set aside a certain number of days during which you'll be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, is this the condition that I feared? By experiencing discomfort on purpose through fasting, cold showers, or simplifying your lifestyle, you train your mind to handle hardship with grace. Facing small challenges regularly develops the mental toughness necessary to transform larger challenges into opportunities when they arise. This concept of turning challenges into opportunities also connects deeply with self-discipline. The Stoics believe that self-discipline is foundational to personal growth. By learning to endure discomfort, delay gratification, and remain focused on long-term goals, you cultivate the mental strength needed to navigate it. Each challenge becomes an exercise in self-discipline, fortifying your inner resolve. When you adopt this outlook, challenges stop appearing as threats to your well-being and instead become chances to prove your inner strength. Take physical fitness, for example. Many people find it hard to maintain an exercise routine due to discomfort and the discipline required. Yet those who view exercise as an opportunity to build both physical and mental resilience are more likely to persevere. Each workout becomes a test of endurance and a chance to push beyond perceived limits. Over time, what once felt daunting transforms into a source of strength. This principle applies universally wherever growth requires sustained effort and discipline. The Stoics also encourage detachment from outcomes and a focus on the process. Often, challenges feel overwhelming because we are fixated on a specific result. When things don't go as planned, disappointment or frustration arises. By focusing on the process and what we can control in the present moment, we become more resilient to setbacks. This shift allows us to see challenges as integral parts of the journey rather than as obstacles. As Epictetus advised, make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens. By concentrating on what lies within our control, we become less attached to outcomes and more focused on the lessons learned and the growth achieved along the way. In addition to reframing challenges and practicing discipline, building emotional resilience is essential for transforming challenges into opportunities. So life is filled with unpredictability, both good and bad. Mental toughness stems from the ability to adapt to these changes without being emotionally destabilized. The Stoics taught that while we cannot control external events, we have full control over how we respond. When confronted with a difficult situation, ask yourself, how can I respond to this in a way that aligns with my values and strengthens my character? This question shifts your focus from the external challenge to your internal response, empowering you to act with integrity and resilience. One practical method for building emotional resilience is reflecting on past challenges and the ways you overcame them. By recalling times when you faced adversity and emerged stronger, you remind yourself of your capacity to endure and grow. This perspective bolsters your confidence in navigating current and future challenges with the strength and wisdom that Stoicism encourages. This reflection builds confidence in your capacity to handle future challenges and reinforces the belief that every difficulty holds the potential for growth. It's also essential to remember that every challenge contains a hidden opportunity, even if it's not immediately apparent. Sometimes the opportunity might be as simple as cultivating patience or practicing self-compassion. At other times, it may lead to a breakthrough in personal growth, career advancement, or the deepening of relationships. The Stoics saw life's challenges not as random misfortunes but as parts of a purposeful, larger design. By viewing adversity through this lens, you nurture a mindset of optimism and resilience, understanding that every obstacle contains the seed of a greater opportunity. In conclusion, transforming challenges into opportunities is central to mental toughness. By reframing adversity, practicing self-discipline, and focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you develop the resilience to thrive in difficult situations. Every challenge, no matter how daunting, carries potential for growth. Embracing this mindset turns obstacles into pathways for success. As Marcus Aurelius wisely stated, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. 7. Guided by reason. At the core of Stoic philosophy lies the belief that we should be guided by reason. The Stoics held that reason is what distinguishes humans from other beings, and it is through the application of logic and rational thinking that we can navigate life's challenges with clarity and calm. In this context, mental toughness comes from the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively, allowing reason to guide our actions rather than fleeting emotions or irrational fears. Marcus Aurelius often emphasized the importance of being guided by reason, writing, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This quote captures the Stoic view that while we cannot control external circumstances, we always have the power to control our responses, and reason is the tool that enables us to make deliberate, wise choices. To be guided by reason means to pause and reflect before reacting to difficult situations. When faced with adversity, our initial emotional reaction might be anger, fear, or frustration. However, mental toughness involves taking a step back and allowing reason to shape our response. The Stoics believed that emotions, while natural, should not dictate our decisions. Instead, they viewed emotions as signals to be examined through reason, prompting questions like, is this reaction justified? Or what is the most rational course of action in this situation? Consider a scenario where you're facing a conflict with a colleague. Your initial emotional response might be frustration or defensiveness. Being guided by reason, however, means taking a moment to assess the situation objectively. Why did the conflict arise? What steps can you take to resolve it in a way that aligns with your values and goals? By engaging your rational mind, you gain clarity, avoid escalation, and work toward a constructive solution. One practical tool the Stoics used to cultivate reason was premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This exercise involves mentally preparing for potential difficulties by considering what might go wrong in a given situation and determining how you would respond rationally. This practice equips you to face challenges with a calm, prepared mindset, reducing the likelihood of emotional reactions and increasing your ability to handle adversity with a steady and rational approach. By envisioning challenges in advance, you train your mind to remain calm and composed when difficulties arise, having already rehearsed your response using logic and reason. This mental preparation builds resilience by minimizing the emotional impact of unexpected events, enabling you to respond with thoughtfulness rather than panic. Beyond preparing for challenges, the Stoics also valued self-reflection as an essential practice for being guided by reason. The Stoics held daily self-examination in high regard, using it to ensure that actions aligned with values and rational thought. While Marcus Aurelius often reflected in his meditations on his handling of various situations, asking himself if he had acted rationally and in accordance with virtue. By consistently reviewing your actions and decisions, you create the space to recognize where emotions may have clouded your judgment and where you can improve going forward. Reason also helps us maintain perspective, preventing us from becoming entangled in minor, trivial concerns. The Stoics believed that much of the stress we experience arises from assigning undue importance to things that in the grand scheme are insignificant. Epictetus famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This teaching encourages us to use reason to keep perspective. When something goes awry, reason reminds us to ask, will this matter in 5 years? Is it truly worth my emotional energy? Maintaining this broader perspective reduces unnecessary stress and fosters emotional resilience. Consider a practical example. Imagine you're having a particularly challenging day at work. A project went off track, a client was upset, and nothing seems to be going right. It's easy to feel overwhelmed and reactive. Yet if you pause and let reason guide your thoughts, you might recognize that while today's challenges are frustrating, they're not catastrophic. By reframing the situation irrationally, you will avoid becoming consumed by negativity and can instead focus on finding solutions to improve the situation. The Stoics also emphasized rational detachment, the ability to remain emotionally calm and objective amid challenges. This doesn't imply suppressing emotions or becoming indifferent. Rather, it's about approaching problems with mental clarity. When reason is your guide, you can learn from your emotions without allowing them to control you. This clarity is especially crucial in situations that provoke strong emotional reactions such as personal conflicts, failures, or unexpected setbacks. During difficult times, Stoic reasoning also encourages focusing on what you control. When challenges arise, it's easy to spiral into anxiety over factors beyond your influence. However, reason reminds us to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. This core Stoic principle allows us to channel energy into productive actions, sparing us from the futility of worrying about things we cannot change. By focusing only on what you can influence, you maintain resilience and avoid feelings of helplessness or overwhelm. Additionally, being guided by reason enhances mental toughness by fostering emotional balance. Life is inherently full of ups and downs, and reason enables us to remain steady through both success and failure. Stoics believe that a life led by reason, rather than emotional impulses, yields a deep-seated sense of stability and resilience. Stoics taught that neither extreme joy nor extreme sorrow should control our sense of well-being. Instead, we should strive for equanimity, a state of calmness and composure, especially in challenging situations. Guided by reason, we don't allow external events to determine our happiness or inner peace. This balance provides the strength to face adversity with both confidence and resilience. Reason also enables us to act in accordance with virtue, which the Stoics saw as the highest good. Acting virtuously means making decisions grounded in wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. When reason guides our actions, we are more likely to act in ways that reflect these virtues, even when it's challenging. This commitment to virtue strengthens our sense of self and builds inner resilience, knowing that we are acting with integrity no matter the circumstances. In conclusion, being guided by reason is a cornerstone of mental toughness. By using logic and rational thinking to navigate challenges, we maintain emotional balance, respond thoughtfully, and focus on what truly matters. Stoics teach that reason unlocks clarity, resilience, and inner strength, allowing us to meet adversity with wisdom and grace. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. 8. Nurture inner tranquility. One of the most profound Stoic teachings is the pursuit of inner tranquility, a state of peace and calm that remains steady regardless of external circumstances. For the Stoics, mental toughness was not merely about withstanding adversity, but cultivating a sense of tranquility that allows us to navigate life's challenges with grace and composure. By nurturing inner tranquility, we build emotional resilience and develop the capacity to remain centered even amidst chaos. The Stoics believe that inner peace is achieved by aligning our thoughts and actions with reason and virtue, rather than allowing external events to sway us. Marcus Aurelius captured this idea when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." This insight reminds us that external circumstances do not have the power to disturb our inner peace unless we permit them to. True mental toughness arises from the recognition that tranquility is an internal state, cultivated by how we choose to perceive and respond to the world. A key practice in nurturing inner tranquility is learning to detach from the need for external validation or outcomes. The Stoics taught that much of our inner turmoil comes from placing excessive value on things beyond our control, whether it's others' approval, material success, or specific outcomes. By letting go of our attachment to these external factors, we liberate ourselves from the anxiety and stress they often cause. As Epictetus said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. This teaching reminds us that true peace is found not in accumulating more, but in contentment and focusing on what is truly essential. To cultivate tranquility, it's crucial to practice acceptance, not only of the things we cannot change, but of life as it unfolds in all its unpredictability. Seneca wrote, "Fate leads the willing and drags along the reluctant." This quote embodies the Stoic belief that resisting life's inevitable ups and downs only leads to suffering, while acceptance enables us to remain peaceful and adaptable. By embracing life's uncertainties and trusting in your ability to face whatever arises, you cultivate a profound sense of tranquility that is resilient even in adversity. The practical approach to nurturing inner tranquility is through the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness means staying present and observing your thoughts and emotions without judgments. Regular mindfulness practice trains you to remain calm and centered, even in the midst of stress. When mindful, you create mental space between yourself and your reactions, allowing you to address challenges with clarity rather than feeling overwhelmed. This discipline fosters a steady mind, less affected by the highs and lows of daily life. Consider a practical example. Imagine you're in the middle of a high-pressure situation at work, facing a tight deadline or a demanding client. So without inner tranquility, it's easy to become anxious and reactive under the pressure. However, by practicing mindfulness and taking a few deep breaths, you center yourself in the present and approach the situation calmly and with focus. This ability to maintain composure under stress not only improves your performance, but also safeguards your mental and emotional well-being. Another practice for nurturing inner tranquility is regular self-reflection. The Stoics believe that true peace comes from aligning actions with one's values and adhering to principles, regardless of external pressures. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on his actions, asking if they aligned with reason and virtue. This daily self-examination helps keep you grounded and ensures you're not swayed by fleeting emotions or distractions. Through regular reflection, you cultivate a sense of inner peace from living in harmony with your authentic self. One significant challenge to inner tranquility is becoming emotionally entangled in the opinions and actions of others. The Stoics taught that mental toughness includes emotional detachment from external judgments and criticisms. Marcus Aurelius pondered, "I have often wondered how it is that every man loves himself more than all the rest of men, but sets less value on his own opinion of himself than on the opinion of others." This insight encourages us to trust in our own values and judgment rather than being overly concerned with the views of others. Learning to detach from the need for external approval nurtures a tranquility that remains steady regardless of social fluctuations. Gratitude is another powerful practice for cultivating tranquility. The Stoics valued the appreciation of the present and finding contentment in what we already possess. Practicing gratitude shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already abundant in your life, reducing anxiety and dissatisfaction and replacing them with peace and fulfillment. By regularly reflecting on the things you're grateful for, you foster a mindset of tranquility that helps you stay calm and content, even in challenging times. A practical way to incorporate gratitude into daily life is to start or end each day by reflecting on 3 things you're grateful for. These could be simple moments of pleasant conversation, a good meal, or a moment of quiet reflection. Over time, this practice trains the mind to focus on the positive aspects of life, fostering a deeper sense of tranquility and emotional resilience. Finally, the Stoics emphasize the importance of living in harmony with nature. To them, this meant accepting life's natural flow and understanding that everything in the universe follows an inherent order. By aligning oneself with this flow rather than resisting it, one cultivates inner peace. Seneca observed, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This reminder teaches us that much suffering stems from resisting life's course or worrying about events that may never come to pass. Embracing life's impermanence and trusting in its natural order nurtures a tranquility that is not easily shaken by external circumstances. In conclusion, nurturing inner tranquility is fundamental to developing mental toughness. Through practices like mindfulness, gratitude, acceptance, and emotional detachment, you cultivate a steady and calm state of mind, allowing you to navigate challenges with clarity and composure. The Stoics teach us that true strength lies not in external achievements or possessions, but in the ability to remain peaceful and centered despite adversity. By fostering this inner tranquility, you build the emotional resilience needed to face life's unpredictability with grace and wisdom. 9. Practice detachment. Detachment is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy and an essential practice for sustaining mental toughness. Stoics believe that much of our emotional suffering comes from becoming too attached to external things, possessions, relationships, outcomes, or even our own definitions of success. Practicing detachment helps us release the need to control or cling to these things, freeing us from unnecessary suffering and fostering a greater sense of inner peace. Epictetus taught, "It is not what happens to you but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom reminds us that, while we cannot control external events, we can control our attachment to them. Detachment is not about indifference or apathy. Rather, it's about loosening the emotional grip that external circumstances can have over us. When we practice detachment, we become less reactive and more centered, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with clarity and resilience. A crucial aspect of practicing detachment is learning to let go of outcomes. The Stoics understood that we often place undue importance on achieving specific results. When those outcomes don't materialize, we feel disappointed, frustrated, or even defeated. By focusing on the process rather than the result, we free ourselves from the emotional highs and lows tied to external success or failure. Seneca said, "If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich." This insight encourages us to detach from societal expectations of wealth, status, or success and to focus instead on living in alignment with our values. Let's consider a practical example. Imagine you're working toward a major career goal, like a promotion or the completion of an important project. While it's natural to desire a successful outcome, the Stoic approach encourages focusing on the effort and the process rather than becoming overly attached to the result. But whether or not you achieve the desired outcome, what matters is that you acted with integrity, put forth your best effort, and remain true to your principles. This mindset of detachment from outcomes not only eases anxiety, but also allows you to maintain emotional balance regardless of success or failure. Another essential aspect of detachment is learning to let go of material possessions and the desire for wealth. The Stoics believe that attachment to possessions creates a fragile form of happiness, easily disrupted by loss or change. Epictetus famously stated, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This Stoic teaching encourages us to find contentment in what we already have, rather than constantly striving for more. By practicing detachment from material wealth, we cultivate a sense of independence and resilience, knowing that our well-being does not hinge on external possessions. Detachment also plays a vital role in our personal relationships. While forming meaningful connections is important, the Stoics taught that we should avoid attachments that compromise. This doesn't mean avoiding relationships or being emotionally distant. Instead, it means acknowledging that people, like all things in life, are impermanent. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." So guidance encourages us to engage wholeheartedly in relationships without clinging to the illusion of permanence. By practicing detachment, we can love and appreciate the people in our lives without the fear of losing them. Detachment in relationships also involves recognizing that we cannot control others' actions or feelings. So mental resilience grows when we accept that everyone is on their own journey, and their choices and behaviors are beyond our control. When you release the need to control or change others, you free yourself from the frustration and disappointment that often arise in relationships. Instead of trying to mold others to meet your expectations, you grant them the freedom to be themselves while maintaining your own emotional independence. Perhaps the most challenging area to practice detachment is within our own ego and sense of identity. We frequently become attached to specific ideas of who we are, our accomplishments, reputation, or roles in life. Yet the Stoics taught that true mental toughness comes from letting go of these external identities and focusing on our inner character. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This teaching reminds us that our true strength lies within our character, not in how others perceive us or in the roles we fulfill. For instance, if you take great pride in your professional success, It's easy to become overly attached to that identity. But what happens if your career takes an unexpected turn, or you're no longer able to perform at the same level? Practicing detachment means understanding that your self-worth is not bound to your job title or achievements. True resilience is rooted in the recognition that your core value lies in who you are internally, independent of any external labels. By releasing the need for external validation, you nurture inner peace and resilience, recognizing that your true worth arises from within. So another mention of detachment involves embracing change and impermanence. The Stoics reflected deeply on the transient nature of life, urging us to let go of the illusion that anything is permanent. Seneca wrote, "Let us prepare our minds as if we'd come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day." This focus on impermanence teaches us to cherish the present without becoming attached to a fixed state of things. By embracing change and releasing the need for permanence, we build the mental resilience needed to adapt to life's inevitable shifts. A practical way to cultivate detachment is through negative visualization, a Stoic exercise that involves imagining the loss of something or someone dear. While this may initially seem morbid, it actually fosters a deeper appreciation for the present and prepares the mind for life's uncertainties. By mentally rehearsing potential losses, you reduce the shock and distress if they occur, strengthening your ability to face life's changes with calm and resilience. In summary, practicing detachment is essential to building mental toughness. By relinquishing the desire to control outcomes, possessions, relationships, or even our sense of self, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and cultivate inner peace. The Stoics teach that detachment is not about avoiding life's experiences, but engaging with them fully, free from dependency on external factors. In practicing detachment, we gain the resilience to face life's shifts with clarity and strength. 10. Forge ahead. The final, and perhaps most empowering, lesson in mental toughness is the Stoic ideal of forging ahead, regardless of obstacles or challenges. Resilience in Stoicism is rooted in the understanding that setbacks, failures, and adversity are inevitable parts of life, but they do not define us. What defines us is our ability to continue forward, to keep moving despite difficulties, and to persist in the pursuit of our goals and values. The Stoics often emphasize perseverance. Marcus Aurelius reflected in his Meditations, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." This reminder of life's gift serves to ground us, encouraging us to move forward with renewed strength and purpose each day, regardless of our circumstances. Forging ahead requires determination, focus, and resilience. It's about having a mindset that, regardless of what happens, you will not give up. This lesson is crucial when facing long-term goals requiring sustained effort. Whether in career aspirations, personal ambitions, or relationships, the ability to push through challenging moments and remain dedicated to your path is foundational to mental toughness. A key aspect of forging ahead is learning to view failure as part of the journey. The Stoics taught that failure is not to be feared or avoided but embraced as a teacher. Seneca observed, "Difficulty strengthens the mind as labor does the body." This perspective reframes failure as an opportunity for growth, encouraging us to approach setbacks as lessons rather than obstacles. This concept teaches us that challenges and even failures are opportunities to build mental resilience. When you see failure as a stepping stone rather than a roadblock, you allow yourself to grow stronger with each setback. Consider this example. Imagine you tackling a personal project like writing a book, training for a marathon, or starting a business. Along the way, you'll likely encounter obstacles, whether it's writer's block, physical exhaustion, or financial setbacks. The Stoic approach to forging ahead urges you to keep going, even when progress feels slow or the outcome uncertain. Each day that you push forward, despite the obstacles, you strengthen your resolve and build resilience. The key is focusing on the process, rather than being fixated on immediate results. A practical way to sustain this mindset is by breaking down large goals into smaller, manageable tasks. This Stoic approach prevents feeling overwhelmed by big challenges. Instead of being intimidated by the magnitude of your goal, focus on what you can do today. Write 1 page, run 1 mile, or make 1 phone call. Each small accomplishment builds momentum, helping you stay committed and mentally resilient. Beyond perseverance, adaptability is essential when forging ahead. The Stoics recognize that life is unpredictable and that things often don't go as planned. Rather than becoming discouraged, they embraced adaptability. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "As rudiment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This teaching encourages us to see obstacles not as reasons to stop, but as opportunities to adapt, learn new skills, or explore alternative paths. So by staying adaptable, you continue moving forward even if the original plan no longer seems viable. Adaptability also means being willing to change your approach when necessary. Mental toughness doesn't mean stubbornly sticking to a plan that isn't working. It means having the wisdom to recognize when a new strategy is needed. If one path becomes blocked, Stoic philosophy encourages finding another way forward. This flexibility allows you to stay focused on your larger goals while remaining open to adjustments in the face of challenges. Another crucial element of forging ahead is a sense of purpose. The Stoics believe that a clear purpose provides the strength to endure hardships and keep advancing. Epictetus advised, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." This teaching encourages us to define our purpose, whether it's living a life of virtue, contributing meaningfully to the world, or achieving personal excellence. By staying connected to your purpose, you create a powerful inner drive that propels you forward even in difficult times. Purpose also offers perspective when faced with setbacks. Instead of viewing obstacles as failures, you see them as part of the journey toward fulfilling your larger purpose. This mindset keeps you focused on long-term goals rather than getting discouraged by temporary setbacks. It reminds you that progress is not always linear, but persistence and purpose ultimately lead to success. Forging ahead also requires self-compassion. Mental toughness isn't about being harsh on yourself or punishing yourself for setbacks. It's about granting yourself the grace to make mistakes, learn, and keep moving forward. The Stoics stress the importance of self-forgiveness when things don't go as planned. Seneca observed, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." This teaching reminds us that resilience is not about perfection, but about our willingness to keep trying even after failure. By embracing self-compassion, you free yourself from the weight of perfectionism, allowing room to grow and improve over time. Lastly, forging ahead means cultivating hope and optimism. The Stoics believe that even in the darkest moments, there is potential for growth and renewal. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on life's impermanence, writing, "The universe is change. Our life is what our thoughts make it." This perspective encourages us to maintain hope even in hope. By focusing on the opportunities that lie ahead rather than dwelling on past difficulties, we sustain the mental strength needed to keep moving forward. In conclusion, forging ahead is the essence of mental toughness, embracing failure, adapting to change, staying connected to purpose, and practicing self-compassion build the resilience required to continue despite challenges. The Stoics remind us that life's obstacles are not barriers but opportunities to strengthen, deepen, and refine ourselves. Mental toughness doesn't mean we'll never encounter difficulty. It means rising each time we fall with renewed determination to reach our highest potential. And there you have it, -10 powerful yet challenging Stoic lessons to help you build and maintain mental toughness. Stoicism teaches us that true strength doesn't come from avoiding difficulties, but from facing them with calm and resilience. Life will always bring its share of setbacks and losses, but how we respond is what truly defines us. Remember, each challenge and every failure is an opportunity to grow stronger, to build resilience, and to cultivate inner strength. From mastering your perspective to embracing what you cannot change, these Stoic teachings empower us to live purposefully, face adversity head-on, and emerge with a fortified spirit. Thank you for watching. If you found value in these insights, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with anyone who could use a bit of Stoic wisdom in their journey. Together, let's keep building mental resilience and living with the wisdom of the Stoics. We can't control everything in life, but we can always control how we respond.